I forget how. Who knows how that could happen after all this time, right? Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Come into a comfortable seat. And as you come to a comfortable seat, sit up on something if you do have some tight hips or a tight low back. That's a nice way to just help alleviate some of that tension before we've actually worked through it. And then let your hands rest down as you let your eyes close. Bring your focus, your awareness to your breath. Bringing that awareness to the pulsations. Noticing the expansion all the way down into the low belly and all the way up into the crown of the head. And just recognizing that breath ability to help you create space, to help you move into that space and utilize it. So with your next couple of breaths, sit a little taller as you inhale and try to stay tall as you exhale. Bringing hands to connect at heart center. Take a full deep inhale and sit even taller. Exhale, bow towards your heart, taking that moment to honor yourself for being here. And then you can softly let your eyes open, release your hands, and start to lift your gaze. And now let's bring the soles of feet out in front of us a little ways. So we'll shift into a little bit of a diamond shape with our legs. And with this diamond shape, sit even taller, lengthen, lift up through the heart space. Think of tilting your belly a little bit forward. And then take right hand across to your left shin, knee, thigh, wherever it needs to be for the spinal twist. Take a big inhale and lengthen again. Exhale, draw ribs in to help you twist a little bit more. Inhale, come back into center. And exhale, reaching across with your left hand to shin, knee, or thigh on the right side. Press down with fingertips behind you, and again, try to find that tilt of your belly a little bit forward. Exhale, ribs in to help you twist. Inhale, come back into center. And now it's same shape with your legs. Press fingertips down beside your hips, lift your ribs up high. And then as deeply as your body needs, start to fold towards your feet. To that extent for you, whatever that looks like, take a full, big, deep breath. As you inhale this time, lengthen even further through the heart space. Exhale, maybe settle a little deeper or stay right where you are. One more big deep inhale and exhale. Then inhaling, rising all the way back up, set your feet on the ground about hip distance apart with your feet. Knees are bent, hands to your knees, and take a couple big breaths here, moving through a cat and cow. Inhale, lift up with your belly and your heart. Exhaling, press back through your spine. Full, deep, long inhale, long, full exhale. One more big breath. And now inhale, sit tall. Think of your belly tilting towards your legs. And then take your right arm across the front of your legs. Left fingertips beside you or behind you. Press down and find lots of length through your spine, including that tilt of your belly forward. Exhale, ribs in to help you twist. If it's feeling pretty good here in your twist, then you might even take your right arm across to the other side of your left leg. Take a full, big, deep inhale, long. Exhale, ribs in to twist. Inhale, come back into center. And then the left arm across the front of your knees. Right fingertips behind you or beside you. Press down and find more lift and length. Then exhale, ribs in to help you twist. Again, if you want, you can reach left arm across to the other side of your right leg. Full big deep breath. Inhale, come back into center. And now, full long exhale, press back through your spine into a cat-like pose, chin tucks in. And from here, take a couple big breaths. Then inhale, sit tall, belly tilts toward your legs. And then you're folding over your legs as deeply as your body needs, maybe holding onto a wrist for a little support. Letting your chin tuck in. And again, take a big breath into your back body. And now inhale, rise all the way up to your tall spine. And we're going to come around to our hands and knees. So shift your legs off to one side and then shift forward onto hands and knees. And you can always set a blanket underneath your knees here for a little support if you would like. But set yourself up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Pressing through palms and fingertips, find that rotation of upper arm bones where your biceps are rotating out. And push. Toes tuck, lift hips, downward facing dog pose, and take a big deep breath, thinking of pushing from your back muscles out through your hands. And then slow pedal of your legs, bending one knee at a time. Lengthening through the back sides of your legs. Take one more big breath right here. And then walk your way forward, coming into your forward fold at the front of your mat. You can use props to help you get there. And then finding your forward fold, take an inhale and lengthen part way. Extend your heart further forward, lift sitting bones up. And exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen, extend your heart. Exhale and fold. Hands to hips. Press back on hips, lift up with shoulders and elbows, and then rise all the way up to stand. And as you come up to a standing position now, feet are inner hip distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes and then root them. And now inhale, stretch arms up overhead. Take a hold of your right wrist and stretch over to the left side. Little bend to your knees. Take a big breath and use that expanding quality of your breath to help your ribs expand in between each one. And then as you exhale, you might take a slightly deeper side stretch. You might stay right where you are. Head to the back plane of your body. Broaden tops of shoulders. One more big breath here. Soft through the knees. Then root through the feet to rise all the way back up. Switch wrists and exhale over to the right side. Take a big couple of breaths. That little bend to your knees helps you to be able to root all the way from your glutes. So squeeze your glutes, push into the ground, and maybe stretch a little further. Full breath into your ribs. Broad tops of shoulders. Send your head back in space. Inhale, come back up to center. Release your wrists, soft knees, fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way, long spine. Exhale and fold. Plant fingertips. You can always use a prop or two here for your fingertips. Step right foot back into your lunge. Take a full big breath and send your heart forward. Reach the ribs forward, collarbones forward. And then turn and plant your back heel. Bring your left elbow to your knee, right hand to your hip as you take this side angle pose variation. Bending into your front knee and opening it up toward the pinky toe edge. And then turn your belly more open to the right. Good push with your elbow on your knee. Let your ribs expand. Take a big breath and feel the expansion. On your next exhale, hands come down to the front of your mat. You're tucking back toes, bringing your knee to the ground behind you, and then setting right hand on the floor or on a block on the edge of your mat. Left hand to your knee, taking the spinal twist toward the left side. Shoulder blades on your back. Take a full big breath and push your right hand down, rising up out of your shoulder. Then exhale both hands to the ground and step all the way back into either hands and knees or downward facing dog pose, and take a big breath. Use your breath to help you expand and grow longer. Inhale, come forward into your plank pose, and maybe use knees on the ground. That's up to you. Find that rotation of elbow pits forward and push. Extend forward with your front body. Take a big breath right here, keeping strength through the core, but feel your back body expand with breath. Then exhale, downward facing dog pose or back to hands and knees. And now walk your way forward. Take as many steps as you need to get there, coming into your forward fold. Take an inhale and lengthen part way, long spine. Exhale and fold over your legs. Fingertips plant. Again, you can always use a prop underneath your hands here. Step your left foot back into your lunge. Pause, find that centering action with your hips, so your right hip is wrapping back. Extend your heart forward. Big breath. Turn and plant your back heel so your foot's parallel to the back of your mat. Bring your right elbow to your knee, left hand to your hip as you turn for this side angle pose facing the left side. And as you face the left side, your knee likes to turn to the left, so you get to use your glute to help it turn more toward the pinky toe edge. Then turn your belly and your heart more and push, elbow down, expand your ribs. Take a really big expanding breath. Exhaling, both hands come down to the front of your mat. You're tucking your back toes and bringing your back knee down to the ground. And again, left hand on the floor or on a block. That's always a nice thing to do for yourself. Right hand to your knee as you turn your belly and your heart into the spinal twist toward the right side. Push the left hand down, put both shoulder blades on your back, take a big deep breath. Exhaling, both hands come back down to the ground. Settle back to your hands and knees, hips to heels. Take a child's pose, and just remember that your child's pose can be all the way back with your hips or lifted with your hips. Anywhere in between, take a big deep breath. Let your head settle. And now inhale, rise up to your hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog pose if you would like. You can always stay on your hands and knees. Root from your back body, from your back muscles, your lats, out through your hands and lift up through your sitting bones. And now walk your way forward, coming into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Inhale, lengthen part way. And exhale, fold over your legs. Hands to hips. Press back on hips as you lift up with shoulders, up with elbows, and rise all the way up to stand, already open through the chest. So now we're going to do a little balancing, and you can stand next to a chair, you can stand next to a wall, you can try balancing in the middle of the floor, whatever works the best for your body. We're going to find our balance onto our left foot. Turn your right toe sideways, knee opens up to the side. And then bring your foot wherever you need it to be. Down low below the knee, up high above the knee, or keep a kickstand. Any of those are options. We just try to avoid the knee joint. So now as you open up with the knee, give a little bend to your standing knee, squeeze your glute, and push into the ground to lift your heart. Right fingertips to your thigh, left fingertips to your shoulder, and then open thigh and shoulder away from each other. Lift your heart up high, and then if you want to, you can stretch up. Take a full, big, deep breath. As you take your next big breath, lift your heart up a little bit higher. Utilize your breath to help you expand. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Your foot comes back to the ground. And then set your right foot up. Turn your left toes sideways, your knees sideways. And then bring your foot wherever you need it to be. Below the knee, above the knee, kickstand. All those are options. Take a big deep breath as you start to open more through the knee and more through the opposite shoulder. Give a little bend to your standing knee, squeeze your glute and push to lift your heart higher. From that place, if you'd like to, you can stretch up. Take a full breath. Another big breath to expand even more. Then exhale, foot back down, hands back to your heart. Feet inner hip distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes and press through your toes, through your heels. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bent knees to fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way, long spine. And exhale, fold. Plant fingertips. Now we're stepping right foot back into your lunge. Plant your right hand. Again, it can be on a block or the floor on the edge of your mat. This time, if it's in your practice, your back knee can be lifted. You can always set it down on the ground too. Left hand to your knee as you turn your belly and your heart toward the left side. Wrap the left hip back and bend deeper into your left knee. Push with your right hand to lift up and out of that right shoulder to turn your belly and the heart more to the left. And then maybe stretch left arm to the sky. Take a full big deep breath. Then exhale, both hands down to the ground or to your props. We're turning and planting our back heel, and you can come back to the elbow on the knee, or you can bring your hand to a prop on the inside or the outside of your left leg as you turn your belly and your heart open toward the right side for your side angle pose. Bend into your front knee, maybe stretch, top arm up and over the ear. Full breath. As you push down with your left hand, expand your ribs more upward. Then exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat. Tuck your back toes and step back. Hands and knees or downward facing dog pose. Big breath. Inhale, come forward into a plank. Knees can always come down here if you would like. Extend your heart further forward. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. And from your belly, reach back with one leg at a time and then push down with the tops of feet. Walk your hands back so they're right by your ribs. And then lift up and open through the shoulders before you lift your chest. From here, reach back through the triceps toward the wall behind you. And now use your breath to help you engage through the core. So big inhale to expand. Exhale, low belly and ribs draw in. Inhale, now lift your chest up as high as your body is ready for. Think of leading with your triceps reaching behind you. Exhale, downward facing dog or hands and knees, your choice. Take a big breath. And then take as many steps as you need to come forward into your forward fold. Take an inhale and lengthen, long spine. Exhale and fold over your legs. Then plant fingertips on the floor or your props. Step left foot back into your lunge. And we're setting our hand down on the floor or a prop. Right hand to your knee as you turn your belly and your heart to the right side. Again, back knee can be up or down. If down is better for you today, please feel free to put your knee down. Take a big deep breath. Wrap the right hip back, bend into your front knee, turn your belly and your heart, and maybe stretch up. Take a full big inhale and exhale. Next, exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat. And then turn and plant your back heel. And again, you can either bring your right elbow to your knee again, or bring your right hand to a prop on the inside or the outside of your right leg. As you start to turn your belly and your heart more open to the left side, bend into your front knee and open it up. From that place, if you want, you can stretch straight up or over your ear with your left arm. Take a big deep breath, push into the block, the floor, your knee to expand your ribs. Then exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat, tuck your back toes, and step all the way back one more time into your child's pose. Take a big deep breath. And then gently push yourself all the way up to your seat. And we're going to come all the way down to sitting bones, and then all the way down to our backs. So as you come to your back, make sure props are handy, whatever you happen to have around, and then draw knees in towards your chest and start some circles. And that might be knees wide or narrow. Circles with your knees in one direction, and circles in the other direction. And now you're setting right foot on the ground, left knee stays in towards your chest. And first, let's do a little bit of a hamstring stretch. So clasp behind the backside of your thigh and begin to extend your leg. Pressing hamstrings into your hands as opposed to trying to pull your leg towards your face. Push hamstrings into hands so that you get a little bit of that fascia feedback. And then releasing the right leg all the way out against the ground if that's in your practice. And if it's not, that's okay too. Both feet are active. Take a big deep breath. And push hamstrings even further into your hands. And that does not mean that your leg needs to be straight. You can push hamstrings into your hands with a good bend to your knee. So now keep a hold with your right hand and let go with your left. Take your left thumb right up into the hip crease and give your hip crease a push, so much that your whole leg will rotate a little bit in the hip socket. Take a big deep breath, making a little more space through that left side body. And now bend your right knee, and you can bend your left knee as well. Open the left knee up to the left. Your right foot is on the ground. Aim the left foot up toward the ceiling, and then you'll hold on wherever you need to for a half happy baby pose. So around the backside of the thigh, outside of shin, or outside of foot. Ultimately, find where your sitting bones can tilt down so that you're unflattening your low back a little bit. And then create a resistance. Pull down and push back with that left hand and left leg. And now the right leg, flex your foot and turn to the pinky edge of your foot as you open your knee up. Take a full big breath. And now back into center with your right leg, and then set your left foot down. And now draw right knee in towards your chest. Your left foot is on the ground. Clasp behind the back side of your right leg and begin to push hamstrings forward into your hand as you extend your leg as long and straight as your body is ready for. And then if you want, you can extend your left leg. You can always keep that knee bent though. There's no need necessarily to straighten that leg. And then tilt your sitting bones down, trying to lift the low back a little bit up off the ground. Keep a hold with your left hand at the back of your thigh. Take your right thumb into your hip crease and give that push. So you're finding that rotation of the entire leg in the hip socket. Take a big deep breath. And now bending the right knee, bending the left knee. Also bend the right knee, but your left foot stays on the ground. Open the right knee up to the right side and aim your foot up toward the ceiling. And then hold on where you need to for your half happy baby pose. Thigh outside of shin, outside of foot. And then create the tilt of the pelvis so that sitting bones are moving down. Create that resistance with the right hand and the right leg. Pull down with the hand, push back with the leg into the hand. Now, engage the left foot, flexing it and turn to the pinky toe edge as you open the knee up. Take a big deep breath. And then back into center with your left knee, and then set your right foot on the ground as well. And from this place, if you would like to add a pillow or a bolster underneath your legs, then you're welcome to. And we're going to start to set ourselves up into our Shavasana. So if it feels best in your body to set soles of feet together, knees open wide over your bolster, your pillow, your props, then you can. Or you can extend your legs all the way out. You can always set a blanket over your belly and your hips or over you entirely for warmth and for grounding. And then start to let your eyes close. Let your breath be soft but full. And start to sense those pulsations of breath. That expansion each time you inhale, and the settling each time you exhale. Begin to take a deeper breath. And add some gentle movement into your fingers, your toes, maybe a little turn of your head side to side. And as you're ready to bend your knees and slowly roll over to your side, whichever side feels best. Let your hips stay heavy and use your hands to help your torso come back upright to your seat. With hands coming to heart center and eyes closed, take another moment in time to feel the pulsations of your breath. Have a very peaceful and beautiful rest of your day. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.